Following the Formula One qualifying session held at the Silverstone Circuit in the United Kingdom, Ferrari's driver Charles Leclerc further complicated the already delicate and intricate technical situation surrounding the Maranello team's current single-seater, the SF-25. The Monegasque racing driver, during interviews conducted with various television broadcasters after the qualifying session, admitted the existence of additional problems and issues of a secondary nature that are currently affecting the performance of the Italian Formula One car. These difficulties were encountered by Charles Leclerc during the 300 kilometers of competitive racing completed over the full race distance at the 2025 edition of the British Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc specifically spoke about very particular technical difficulties which, according to his detailed explanation, become especially problematic and challenging to manage during the high-pressure qualifying sessions. The Monegasque described these issues as being of a strange nature, stating clearly that they are not linked to the usual questions regarding the mechanical or aerodynamic balance of the SF-25, which is typically addressed and refined during the car's setup and fine-tuning process. This is a technical matter that Ferrari has never officially commented on in any of its recent communications, and it is believed that this issue may be resolved at the next event on the Formula One calendar, the Belgian Grand Prix, which will take place at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Gaining full certainty regarding the specific technical matter to which Charles Leclerc is referring proves to be a particularly complex and nuanced exercise. What is clear, however, is that the issue in question is something that is not easily noticeable or visible through the onboard camera footage, since it does not appear to be related to the general aeromechanical balance of the SF-25 Formula One car. When analyzing the handling and drivability demonstrated by the SF-25 during the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, the impression given was that Ferrari had produced a car with decent performance. Therefore, the logical question arises, what exactly is Charles Leclerc referring to with these mysterious issues? At this moment in time, the most credible and widely discussed hypothesis suggests that the root of the problem lies in the driver's feeling with the steering system, as also reported by Italian journalist and F1 expert Roberto Cinchero. According to this theory, the issue would not be a mechanical failure in the traditional sense, but rather a poor and unpleasant sensation when Charles Leclerc grips the steering wheel of the Ferrari SF-25 single-seater. It is important to take into account that modern Formula One cars have an immense number of adjustable parameters, and the precise calibration of these systems plays a critical role in establishing the ideal synergy and chemistry between the driver and the car. From the information currently available, it appears that the issue may be linked to the hydraulic power steering system, also known as the servo steering or power-assisted steering. This is a vital system that helps the driver manage the steering effort required to operate the car, which would otherwise be far too demanding due to the extreme forces generated in modern Formula One racing. Depending on the specific design and construction of each Formula One car, the settings of the hydraulic steering system can vary, which means that the steering feel can be significantly different for each driver, even between teammates. To give a practical example, during the same Formula One race weekend at the Silverstone Circuit, British racing driver Lewis Hamilton did not report suffering from any specific issues related to steering feedback. However, it should be noted that Lewis Hamilton had to deal with a completely different problem: a total loss of GPS signal throughout the entire duration of the Grand Prix. If the hydraulic steering system in a Formula One car like the Ferrari SF-25 is not correctly calibrated and optimized, it can place the driver in difficulty by disrupting their ability to maintain a natural and intuitive driving flow, especially during crucial moments such as the final flying lap in Q3 during qualifying. This type of problem becomes even more detrimental if the car itself is already underperforming or not in peak condition, as appeared to be the case with the Ferrari SF-25 during that particular weekend. The situation analyzed here could help explain some of the disappointing and underwhelming results seen from Charles Leclerc in recent races. However, it remains unclear why such steering-related problems would emerge more clearly during qualifying sessions rather than in race conditions. Furthermore, there is little clarity surrounding the reason why Charles Leclerc appears to have suddenly lost confidence and feel with the front end of the SF-25. While it is true that some of these parameters can be adjusted by the team or by the driver through the steering wheel interface, it still remains to be understood why Ferrari would decide to modify the overall steering configuration of the SF-25 single-seater. According to various sources, it is believed that the main issues reported by Charles Leclerc occurred in the fastest portions of the Silverstone track, especially in high-speed corners and during extended cornering phases. This would correspond to the middle sector of the circuit, particularly in the famous Beckett's-Maggotts Chapel complex. However, this theory seems slightly inconsistent, based on available data and our analysis, because that specific section of the track is precisely where the SF-25 driven by Charles Leclerc appeared to perform at its best. This has been observed and confirmed through various onboard comparison videos and technical analysis articles published on our channel in the days following the British Grand Prix. The parts of the British circuit where the Ferrari SF-25 appeared to lose the most ground compared to its competitors were actually different. More specifically, it was in the first and third sectors of the Silverstone track, sectors that feature a higher concentration of slower speed corners. During the qualifying session, Charles Leclerc was unable to replicate the racing lines and trajectories that he had successfully used during Free Practice 3. This significantly limited the traction available to him in several key corners, reducing overall performance. This phenomenon is clearly confirmed by telemetry data. The central question now becomes, when will Charles Leclerc be able to regain the level of confidence and steering feel that he desires to perform at his best? At this moment in time, that may be the most relevant and intriguing question facing Scuderia Ferrari. Charles Leclerc himself has publicly expressed hope that the issue can be resolved in a timely manner. Typically, when a Formula One driver speaks in such a tone, it suggests that the team is already working behind the scenes on a solution and that a fix may be close to implementation. Even though there have been no official statements or press releases confirming a definitive resolution. If the steering issue really is related to the configuration or calibration of the hydraulic power steering system, then the problem could already be addressed and resolved at the next round of the 2025 Formula One season, the Belgian Grand Prix, scheduled to take place at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit in the Ardennes. The ongoing development of the Ferrari SF-25 remains a central focus for the Maranello team's technicians and engineers as the 2025 Formula One season progresses. With every race weekend offering new challenges and insights, fine-tuning driver comfort and performance remains essential to unlocking the full potential of the car. As Charles Leclerc and the Maranello-based team continue to work together to refine every technical detail, from mechanical grip to steering feedback, all eyes will be on their progress in the coming races. The collaboration between engineers, drivers, and simulator teams will play a decisive role in restoring the ideal driving feel and competitiveness. The Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps could mark a turning point, and Ferrari supporters will be hoping to see tangible improvements where it matters most, on track.